The WWE Universe is still reeling from the stunning events of Crown Jewel 2025, where Roman Reigns, long considered the untouchable tribal chief, suffered one of the most shocking defeats of his career. For over 3 years, Reigns had dominated the WWE landscape, holding the undisputed championship, commanding the loyalty of the Bloodline, and asserting himself as the ultimate authority in the company. But in Riyadh, the unthinkable happened. Reigns lost in a match that not only ended his title reign but also exposed vulnerabilities fans had never seen before. What followed in the aftermath of his loss has been even more shocking. Reigns has broken his silence, speaking openly about the inner workings of WWE, his frustrations, and what he believes went wrong both inside and outside the ring. For the first time, the tribal chief is showing the world a side of himself rarely seen, candid, frustrated, and unfiltered. The match that changed everything, eh? At Crown Jewel, Roman Reigns faced Cody Rhodes, a competitor who has long been chasing redemption and revenge against the tribal chief. The match was a culmination of months of storytelling, built on betrayal, ambition, and family tensions within the Bloodline. Reigns came into the arena as the reigning champion, confident and commanding, but Cody Rhodes was equally determined, fueled by years of unfinished business. The match itself was brutal, with near falls, high-impact maneuvers, and a palpable intensity that had fans on the edge of their seats. At one point, it seemed as though Reigns would walk away victorious, showcasing the precision, power, and strategy that had kept him at the top of WWE for so long. But a series of miscalculations, combined with unexpected interference and the fractured loyalty of those around him, led to his defeat. Cody Rhodes capitalized, hitting his signature crossroads and securing a 3 count that stunned the WWE Universe worldwide. This was not just a loss, it was a moment that would have repercussions far beyond the ring. Reigns breaks his silence. For weeks after Crown Jewel, Roman Reigns was silent, leaving fans to wonder whether the tribal chief was taking a hiatus, reassessing his career, or even contemplating retirement. Then, in a groundbreaking segment aired on WWE Raw, Reigns finally spoke. Sitting alone in the locker room, the champion-turned-challenger addressed the WWE Universe in a tone that was equal parts raw honesty and quiet rage. "I've been on top for a long time, and everyone assumed I was untouchable. But tonight we all saw what happens when trust is broken, not just trust in the ring, but behind the scenes, in ways the world will never fully understand." Reigns went on to reveal what many had suspected but few had seen confirmed: the politics, alliances, and backstage maneuverings that shape WWE outcomes often extend far beyond the wrestling ring. He hinted at strategic decisions, interference, and even subtle betrayals that contributed to his downfall, secrets that until now were closely guarded by WWE management and key insiders. "I've spent years leading, dominating, and carrying this company on my back. But the truth is, there are forces here that I can't control, and when that happens, even the tribal chief can fall." Fans were left stunned. The normally composed and carefully calculated Reigns had peeled back the curtain, exposing a rarely seen side of the wrestling world. Exposing the Bloodline dynamics. A major focus of Roman Reigns' candid revelations following his shocking defeat at Crown Jewel 2025 was the fracturing of the Bloodline, the legendary family faction he had meticulously built and led with near absolute authority. For years, the Bloodline had been presented to WWE fans as the epitome of unity, strength, and loyalty, a family bound not just by blood but by a shared mission to dominate the WWE landscape. Roman Reigns, as the undisputed tribal chief, stood at the center of it all, his dominance both in the ring and behind the scenes seemingly unshakable. However, the events of Crown Jewel revealed deep cracks that had been quietly simmering for months, cracks that many fans had sensed but few had fully understood until now. Reigns' frustrations with Jey Uso, his cousin and one of his closest allies in the faction, became a central theme of his reflections. Once considered the right-hand man of the tribal chief, Jey's loyalty appeared to waver at critical moments, leaving Reigns exposed at the most consequential junctures. The betrayal was not just physical, It was emotional and strategic, striking at the very core of the faction's power. Reigns also hinted at tensions with Paul Heyman, his longtime advocate, strategist, and confidant. While Heyman had been instrumental in Reigns' rise to the pinnacle of WWE, even the most trusted allies can have competing agendas, and the tribal chief acknowledged that subtle shifts in loyalty or strategy could have far-reaching consequences. These behind-the-scenes dynamics, Reigns explained, were as complex and high-stakes as any championship match. Family is everything to me, but family also makes mistakes, and mistakes at this level, they're costly, Reigns admitted, his voice carrying both frustration and resolve. Through this revelation, fans were offered a rare and intimate look at the inner workings of WWE's most dominant faction. It became clear that maintaining supremacy in the wrestling world requires more than physical skill. It demands careful navigation of loyalty, ambition, and personal pride, factors that can be just as dangerous and unpredictable as any opponent in the ring. By exposing these fractures, Reigns not only contextualized his defeat, but also underscored the high stakes of leadership within the Bloodline. In the world of WWE, even the tribal chief is vulnerable when trust falters, alliances waver, and family dynamics collide with ambition, proving that dominance is never guaranteed and mistakes are always costly.